Hey, what's up? This is Kaufman is Alive YouTube channel. I look at comic books new and old. Today I'm looking at a new comic book, X-Men number 2, that just came out by Marvel Comics. It's written by Jed McKay. Ryan Stegman is the artist. We've got the team here: Cyclops, Beast, Magneto, Psylocke, Kid Omega, Temper, Magic, and Juggernaut. So this is the team from Alaska, basically. They've made their home in Alaska. The last issue ended. I was a little confused by the last issue. If you saw my video when Cyclops and Beast were talking, I thought they were talking about dismantling like the whole town, and then Cyclops saying like, "No, we don't need to do that yet." But it was actually that big giant sentinel that was lurking over the city that they had frozen and decommissioned. So that's still looming over this series. They don't get into any of that in this issue though. And one thing I will say that I like about this is kind of a self-contained issue, and so far, for all the X-Men titles and even some of the Ultimate titles too, the issues are mostly self-contained, and you get a full story in each issue. There's not this. There are long overarching plot lines, but each story is self-contained, so you do kind of get some nice satisfaction reading these issues. This issue, this cover, this is the Ryan Stegman cover here. And we got Cyclops and Psylocke on the cover. I really like the inks too by J.P. Mayer. He's got some really dark, thick inking lines all throughout this book. But ever since I've seen, since the solicits too, this cover, it just looks like Cyclops is about to smack Psylocke's ass. So, they did kind of have an off and on relationship in previous X-Men comics, and with Jean Grey not in this team, I would kind of like to see them kind of revisit their relationship. So we'll get into this issue. It's called Invasion, and we meet this mutant who's like this homeless guy who's having these visions of this giant alien invasion. And in fact, he's actually creating the visions to become reality. That's his mutant power. So obviously we're in San Francisco here. And the X-Men are trying to figure out what's going on with this giant alien invasion. And these pages are really great pages. Just a really great pace, action-packed. Like I said, really kind of thick, dark inking lines too. It's just a really pretty comic to look at. Stegman's kind of camping it up with his artwork. It's very cartoonish looking. I mean, like the mouth here, the face on Kid Omega. It's a stylistic choice. He's making them all look kind of younger. They all have that kind of anime feel. So, but I like it. It's really working well with the comic. I really especially like Cyclops and Magic's design. And just some really fun action-packed panels here. They're battling these. It's just like a faceless horde. This feels like an Image comic. This whole series has felt like an early Image comic, pretty much. We've got like a team. They're out on their covert missions here. They're kind of getting to know each other too for the first time, even though we've got some previous relationships between some of these characters. So this is a great bit in this comic where Kid Omega has this. He's created this giant device where he can shoot Juggernaut out right through this alien ship here. I really like this page a lot. I like the tears on Juggernaut's eyes there. He's like going so fast. Great view down here. So Cyclops starts to realize that these aren't any aliens he's ever encountered before, because as you know, the X-Men have encountered plenty of aliens. And he starts to put together that with the help of Psylocke, because she can't sense anything inside their heads, that this is all just an illusion. And Cyclops puts it together that it's our mutant that created the whole thing. Great profile on Cyclops here. Great face. And we get the X-Men running into action. The alien horde's running at them. Some really fun pages here. I like this shot of Cyclops with magic and Psylocke. So Cyclops trying to reason with this mutant, trying to figure out what he's doing here. But he's like, I can't be a mutant. I'm too old. I would have known. But for some reason, his X gene triggered, even though he's so old. Cyclops can't figure it out, but they're here to help him. But he just blasts them all away. And he's claiming he was abducted by the flying saucers, and they did all this stuff to him, messed up his mind. Cyclops is trying to help him, but he says he's never going back, and then he just completely disintegrates himself. Or so we think. And his co-worker's like, Ben's a mutant? Cyclops says he was. Like too many I've known, he was a mutant. But then we get back to the factory, which is the X-Men's base here in Alaska. And we get him back at the factory here. So kind of interesting that the X-Men are doing these kind of subversive things, kind of tricking people. But Cyclops wants to figure out what happened to him. How come that these full-grown adults are getting their X gene activated? So that's kind of the underlying plot line going on in this book right now. And we see, I guess, Professor Magneto in his chair here. And they give us, of course, a little extra bonus story here, Weapon Extraction. This is the final part of this miniseries with Wolverine and Deadpool. Honestly, had not been following it. It's been taking place in a bunch of comics I haven't been reading. So this is kind of the first one that I happen to pick up that has this in it. And it's just Wolverine and Deadpool apparently going through a bunch of multiverses, and apparently they didn't really accomplish much, and Deadpool just wants to hang out with Wolverine, and at the very end Wolverine decides he's going to hang out with Deadpool, and they have a drink, and they start watching some football. So some cool art though in this little backup story. It's Javier Garron is the artist, and Ryan North is the writer of this. So pretty cool issue. I've really been enjoying the direction this X-Men's taking. I wasn't too sure about it at first, but 2 issues in and I'm really digging it. So thanks for watching the video, and subscribe if you haven't yet. I'll see you later.